And here we go. So, of course, for anybody who's familiar with the combo randomizer, you do always start in Super Metroid simply because there are the controller changes that you can make at the beginning of the game that we had seen Zos kind of going through and changing that up a little. But from here, most people running will dive directly into Link to the Past purely because of item density that's available. And it looks like all 4 runners will be heading there. And there's our cute little Samus sprite. Starting off with some super missiles on the Lake Hylia Island. And Piece of Heart in the Sanctuary. Raikou Rider looks to be making a play up to do the Houlihan glitch, which is a camera manipulation that allows you to kind of enter into a certain zone of the game that can get you 225 rupees. Really nice way, 250, 225, somewhere around there to get your game started out. Helps with some of the purchases that you'll have to make in Kakariko Village. A piece of heart from our darling uncle, and ooh, X-ray there at the lumberjack item. So don't think that we'll see Aga today, even for the microwave strats. It does save a little bit of time, but probably not enough time to really make up the difference with having to go through all of Aga Tower and Castle Tower. But we do see Speed Booster in Link's house. So that actually gets us access to our Brinstar area. And the Spazer Beam, or the Meme Beam as some like to call it, at the mushroom location in the Lost Woods. And our first sword early on, right there in the Thieves' Hut of the Lost Woods. So that is very nice to see. And Hitaka heading straight for the maze game. I don't think he checked it before coming up here, which is okay. And it's a heart container, so we'll probably see him pick that up and then head over to the Kakariko Village area. And just kind of while everybody's running around checking things that everybody else has already checked, I do want to give a quick shout out to Mind of Me, who is our tracker for this evening, as well as our speed gaming setup helper that helped to get all of the runner setup and everything going. So thanks so much to Mind of Me for helping out this week. Plasma in the tavern. So coming through that south route definitely makes it a little bit better. We probably won't see Hitaka or Zos to pick up the Spazer Beam. Actually, I think Hitaka already did pick up the Spazer, but I could be wrong. Oh well. All right, we do get a map check showing a 5-6 crystal at Eastern, the red pendant at Tower of Hera, and a regular crystal at Desert Palace. Hitaka gonna hop down into the village well. There's 5 items here, starting off with our first pack of power bombs. The back item behind the bombable wall, just a blue rupee. Next pack of power bombs from the bottle vendor and morph ball in the bottom of the well. Definitely nice to see that early on. Pair that up with speed booster and we've got pretty much everything that we would want. Green Brinstar available. Five more items here for Hitaka in the Blind's Hut hideout. Starting off with a bomb capacity upgrade, some missiles, magic cape, and more missiles. And the final item, more Super Metroid ammo. So nice bunch of super missiles and regular missiles there in Blind's Hut. A couple different locations that are still available, including Eastern Palace. We do have the dam just south of Link's house, as well as all of South Shore to Mini Moldorm and Ice Rod Cave. The Zelda escape area is also open and available, but will we see Zost be our first? No, he's gonna keep going. Let's go to Link's house. Okay. Alright, Zost looks to be heading down towards the South Shore, towards Mini Moldorm Cave. All right, and our damn soggy item is just a 5 arrow capacity upgrade. So because the combo randomizer is still using the version 29 of Link to the Past randomizer, the item capacity upgrades are still in the game instead of being changed to additional bombs or arrows or just the items themselves, but they still do give the capacity upgrade for this. So 5 more items here for Zost in the Mini Moldorm Cave. Starting off with a pack of bombs, hook shot, charge beam, nice. Piece of heart and some more missiles. Sinus gonna take a peek over to Sahasrah's closet, possibly even dip into Eastern Palace, and we'll see from there whether he decides to head possibly into Link to the Past, but who knows? Given a chat with Sahasrah, finding out the green pendant is going to be at Swamp Palace today. And the boots at Sahasrah's. Let's go fast in both games. I definitely think that making the check over to Sahasrah was worth it just for the boots at least. That will help a lot with a little bit faster execution and routing in Link to the Past. And Bunkrock's giving us our second sword. So those boots are already giving us a little bit of a boost here. Zost saving and quitting after Ice Rod Cave. I'm heading directly into Super Metroid. And Zos is going to be popping over to check right into Criteria Power Bombs for some bombs. Oh, just about got the speed booster morph there to get over to the Super Metroid Gauntlet area. Hitaka following right behind Zos steps, gonna be making the same plays over to Power Bombs in Criteria. All right, and Reku also doing a reset over to Super Metroid. Zos gets the great Shine Spark through the Super Metroid Gauntlet. Really nice to see some great execution. Grabs a reserve tank. Zos actually didn't pick up the second pack of power bombs, so he would have had to use a Shine Spark here to get through all of these. The Super Metroid Gauntlet. You do need 10 at minimum, well 9 really, to make it all the way through the gauntlet here. And he sets up that nice quick fall through the crumble blocks here to get Wave Beam. It's really nice to pick that up along with Charge and, well, he would have to turn on his plasma, but he does have Charge and plasma. We got some missiles at Terminator. Hitaka also going to be passing through the back of Escape here, grabbing the Wave Beam as well. And Zos checking our Omega missiles, or the 230 missiles, which would be the last item that you would pick up in 100% Super Metroid, while the Bomb Chorizo has our lamp, first fire access. That's really nice to find. Sinus gets that perfect water walk. Gonna be checking out the Hobo and Zora area prior to dipping into Super Metroid. I guess he's gonna go do... Can you do Waterfall Fairy with the water walk? Or do you still have to have Moon Pearl? I guess that answers that question. Picking up missiles and super missiles there for the waterfall location, and we'll pop over and check out Zora. Not quite enough rupees to actually pay King Zora, but at least we'll be able to see what the ledge item is and whether or not flippers will be required for that. Bow in the Blue Star location behind Speed Booster, or the Mock Ball location, so that is really nice to find for Zos. There was also another reserve tank here at the Crumble Bridge. He's gonna pick that up. Or I'm sorry, that was for Hitaka. Dang it, going back and forth. 4 runners, you know, everybody. It's a lot to keep track of. Zos did pick up the plasma beam, I'm pretty sure, but he would have to manually go into his menu in Super Metroid to turn that on. It's not automatically turned on when you pick up the item in Link to the Past. And it looks like our Edakuns so far not holding any super progression, but we have the one more item behind the actual Edakuns. We'll see what Hitaka finds over here. The Book of Pandora at the Red Tower. That's our desert access as well. With boots, we still need glove. But lamp, boots, and book definitely puts Desert Palace as a pretty pretty good choice. Heart piece as our final item at the Edakun's location. And Sinus gonna give us a peek into the Zelda escape area. And Raikou doing a reset after checking the criteria escape shaft speed booster locked item. We did get an E-tank there in the chest just before Zelda's cell. So we've got a couple more locations. And then, of course, for our runners who have been to Super Metroid, having picked up Lamp at Bomb Terizo, that would put the Dark Cross and the back of Escape in logic. Spazer today is just a missile pack. And the map there at Zelda's chest, so we should have a small key at the Dark Cross room, or potentially the key could actually be in the back, which would require the mitts to get to. And it looks like Zost is hoping that he could possibly skip the Bryn loop and just be able to find his progression through the Red Tower down to Kraid. Ooh, Raikou pretty low with his health here. It's a little scary. The magic hammer at Kraid Missiles. Yowza. That's a really nice find. Alright, Sinus making his first appearance into Super Metroid, doing the traditional criteria power bombs check. Oh gosh. Oh no. Raikou doesn't make it. Alright, Hitaka with Wave Beam in hand is able to get straight through that gate. That is in logic with the Wave Beam, so gonna be glad to see that they had that Wave Beam from the back of Escape. And Zost with a really great Kraid quick kill. Always nice to see. Zost has such great execution in Super Metroid. All for 3 bombs, but that magic hammer is definitely a great find, so. Ooh, Sinus with the nice little wall jump there. Using Speed Booster. Hitaka with a preview of Waterway just for some missiles. Oh no, Raikou got snagged by... Oh, that's so mean. Ooh, and our third sword location there for Zost, having picked up his Master Sword in the Kraid Vault. And Raikou does make it over to the reserve tank here at Super Metroid Gauntlet, same as Sinus, just getting here for his first time. Sinus does not know what items are in the back, so he'll be happy to pick up that Wave Beam. Raikou definitely wants to make the trip over to pick that up. And Zo's going to give us our first look at the Norfair item locations available. And yes, half magic at high jump boots. That's a nice find. Sinus does have hookshot and charge beam. I'm also tracking the top 2 runners for now. So thanks for pointing that out. Alright, Raikou does make it back to pick up that Wave Beam. Sinus also has his. It looks like Zost and Sinus still haven't turned on their plasma beams. I'm pretty sure they both picked him up by now. And back to Link to the Past for Zost. He is hanging out here at Death Mountain, gonna go save the old man. Alright, there goes Sinus turning on his plasma beam. Sinus also going to be picking up his bow here at the Green Brinstar Reserve Room. Missiles from our old man Gary, as Hitaka checked the Billy Mays location, found, I believe it was just some bombs in a shield. Breku also happy to be seeing that. Sinus also going to be making his Edekun's check. Not really anything there as far as progression, so... Nelson DHA in chat asking, why is it Billy Mays? When you go into the room, you'll see that first item and you can shoot it and see what it is, but there is also more. In the bottom left of the pedestal that the item is sitting on is another hidden item. So you get one item, but wait, there's more. 2 items for the price of 1, Billy Mays, maybe? And Zosti here in Paradox Cave, opening up the items here, finding our first bottle with a potion, as well as some missiles, additional Super Metroid loot. Fire Rod. That's a pretty nice Paradox Cave, I will say so. And mind of me pointing out that the old Mother Brain location, which you can get to with power bombs, you can actually get there with Speed Booster if you time it right, I believe, as well as Screw Attack having the Moon Pearl. Yeah, order missiles and we'll throw in a shield completely free. All right, there's another shield there for Hitaka, having picked up the item at Billy Mays. Oh no, and Zost got snagged by the Tektites there on the top of Death Mountain, making his way over to Hera, so he'll be able to save and quit. He's heading over to Link's house instead of heading over to Hera, so he may be following the Book of Medora routing. He's going to head to escape. Okay. And Hitaka heading over to Bomb Chorizo, going to be picking up his lamp as well. So everybody at this moment is kind of going through and doing everything that everybody else has already done. So just real quick, for anybody who is new, welcome again to the stream. This is a combo randomizer that allows you to play both Link to the Past and Super Metroid within the same game. It is required that you beat both Mother Brain and Ganon to complete and finish the seed. And for now, we're just kind of playing it through to see what items we can find within each game that will help us go through and beat both games. So. Cool Papa Bell in chat mentioning that we do have Master Sword plus the lamp. We also have the magic cape. And we do know that Lumberjack is not going to be any progression, but it could be a Dark World access. Still don't have gloves. I mean, we could have a progression item at the dark cross room in the escape area. That could potentially be gloves that would then allow us access to the back 3 chests of the escape, which we haven't seen yet. But that dark cross room with lamp could also be a small key that would give us further access through the Hyrule escape area. So there are a couple different things that the lamp can open, as well as a completion into Eastern Palace, of course. Oh, and Sinus had his missiles selected instead of his regular beam, so he was trying to get through that gate, but was just firing missiles at the wall instead. Oh, and Hitaka is going for a wreck ship, it looks like. He's doing a Shine Spark here to fly over the moat. The moat, going to be picking up his missiles on his way through. All right, and Zost with the lamp in hand is going to head to the back of Escape. There's either an item here at the Dark Cross room or a small key, which will allow him further progress to the final 3 chests. Alright, and Hitaka stepping into Wreck Ship as Zos finds Cane of Burna at the Dark Cross Room. So gloves are required for the 2 remaining items in the back. One of those 3 chests will be the small key that would normally be needed to get through the escape area, so we won't be needing that key anymore. Alright, and Reku pretty much following right behind Sinus here. They'll both be heading through the Retro Bryn or Blue Bryn Star area. Hopefully they'll also make their way back up through the escape or the Criteria escape shaft and over to Mother Brain so that they can pick up their Moon Pearl. Zost heading over to turn in his bottle to Sick Kid as Hitaka starts out with Fantoon. Sick Kid giving us a bunch of bombs. He's like, hey, have my firecrackers. I'm too sick to go out and play with them. Alright, and Zo's heading back into Super Metroid. We maybe see him heading through the Brinstar Loop, possibly, or over into Wreck Ship. Alright, and Raikou picking up his Moon Pearl. Looks like Sinus should be heading up right behind that. Alright, Hitaka finishing up with Fantoon. Nice! Gets that charge plasma shot. Without X-ray, you're still not able to microwave, but charge plasma does a lot of damage to Fantoon. So really nicely done there by Hitaka. Finishing up with our second Super Metroid boss of this seed. And Zosti looks to be heading over to Brinstar. So he'll be picking up that bow soon, and that could send him in the direction back into Link to the Past, possibly over to Eastern Palace. Yeah, and quite a few more items here that Hitaka will be able to find. Starting off with this item on the right side. Big 20. He's going to pick it up because we do still have quite a few things in the Dark World, as well as Zora, potentially. Pulse of Darkness we may need. Sinus picking up his fire source with the lamp at Bomb Chorizo. And from here, I guess we'll see what Sinus decides to do. He's pretty much made all of the clearing that he can do through Brinstar and the Criteria area. Hitaka did grab an extra 300 rupees from the location that you would pick up the super missiles from in Wreck Ship right after Fantoon. And he's doing a quick save here at this location so that he can head through the Spiky Room of Death. Without Gravity Suit, I think Speed Booster puts us in logic because you can project yourself through the water, carry that momentum enough to get you a jump high enough to make it into this room, but it's still kind of scary with only Power Suit to make it through this area in Wreck Ship. But he does a really good crouch down grab to make it over that ledge. Zoe's doing a really good job avoiding the Decora area there by using the blue shine spark of the suit to make it through those bomb blocks. And super missiles there at the E-Tank in Wreck Ship, so Hitaka is just going to reset rather than have to pick up the super missiles and route his way all the way back through the Spiky Room of Death. And that puts him right back at that save spot just above the Spiky Room of Death, so he'll be heading directly towards the Wreck Ship attic. Alright, a couple more enemies here for Hitaka to kill before he's able to open up the gray doors in this room. Be able to check the right side item first, and then head back through the room to head left to the area above Wreck Ship. Zoe's going to give us our peek here at the waterway, which we know is just a missile pad. And the right side attic item here in Wreck Ship is a piece of heart. Hitaka's going to grab that. And Sen is also making the play over here to Wreck Ship. We'll be able to see any further progression from Hitaka first. Though we do know the hammer being at Kraid, perhaps Raikou Rider making the dip down through Red Tower, he'll follow the same pathing here that Zos took, pick up his Book of Medora, and then progress a little bit further through. E-Tank at Missiles in the Sky. Nice to find. Maybe less nice after you just fought Fantoon, but still always good to have that. Alright, and Zoe's going to make his way through the blue retro Brinstar area. He'll hopefully head up to Old Mother Brain and also pick up his Moon Pearl. And sign us on to the fight with Fantoon. Hitaka with a little bit of a coffee break doing the Chozo bowling. Alright, our first item behind the bowling alley here, being held by this Chozo, is a big 20. And then we'll see Hitaka also go for the speed booster item just at the top of the little area here. Sign is finished off with Fantoon. Did I say Mothula? Alright, Zost is heading up the elevator here. So he will be checking through to Old Mother Brain and be picking up his Moon Pearl as well. Hijaka heading down to Red Tower. He'll be picking up his Book of Medora, and then we'll probably see quite a few people making their first plays into some Link to the Past dungeons. Now that Zos has bow and he's got hammer already, we may see him go back towards possibly Hera or dip towards Eastern Palace. Raiku's gonna check Spazer, which we know is just, I believe, a 5 bomb capacity upgrade. MF Phileon in chat. We have already seen Paradox. We have not yet seen Spiral Cave. Paradox held our first bottle with Blue Goo as well as the Fire Rod. Alright, Raiku's gonna head over to do Kraid. He'll be able to pick up his magic camera there. Right, Zost heading over to Wreckship as well. Gets that missile shot off, but doesn't quite make it through the door with that Shine Spark. Though I do love seeing when he flies across the ocean like that. It's very impressive. So gets the short charge on his second try and makes it in. I mean, first try, of course. First try. Yeah, always the first try. Alright, Raikou heading to finish up with his Kraid fight, going for a quick quill. Gets it very nicely done. That's 2 for 2 on quick kills and Kraid. Hitaka following up shortly behind. We'll see if that goes 3 for 3. Zos with a really good Doppler there. That was quite a few hits on that round. Nice. Gets Fantoon in the eye there before the flames actually erupt. So he's able to complete out Fantoon with a really good, I believe that was only a 3 round. Very well done. A 2 round chat corrects me. Thank you. And on to fight 3 of Kraid. 3 for 3 quick kills. Very, very nicely done. All right, Raikou gonna be making stop down into the high jump boots area. He'll be picking up his half magic and high jump boots, coincidentally. And then we may see him head back to Link to the Past. He's got Death Mountain that's available for him to check. And we may see him make it up to Hera if he doesn't get bodied by some Tektites like Zeus did. But we'll see from here. Grabs his high jump boots and half magic. Hitaka picking up his second sword from Kraid. I'm going to say that Raikou probably also made that same grab, but we can confirm when he makes it back to Link to the Past. And Zeus turns off his high jump boots, but his plasma is now turned on, so he'll be able to make this jump to see the super missiles. Will he keep them? I don't think he saved, so he must... Yeah, he did not save. He's going to make it back, but... Yeah, Raikou has the blue mail, so we see Samus in the gravity suit in Link to the Past, which is always really nice. And Zeus here taking some intentional damage from the little spark there to drop his health below 50, but he forgets that he's got reserve. So yeah, he'll have to use that and then either try to make it through the spiky room of death, which looks like he's going to do. But he was trying to do a crystal flash there to refill his health. Spiky room of death ain't no thing. Well, he could crystal flash now, I suppose. Yeah, there we go. So in order to do a crystal flash, you have to have less than 50 energy, empty reserves, 10 missiles, 10 super missiles, and a minimum of 11 power bombs, because you do use one power bomb to actually start the explosion, and then it will also use 10 power bombs to refill your health. Was that gravity suit on Spectacle Rock? Where is my mirror? Oh, goodness. Yeah, Hitaka just realizing he also doesn't have mirror, but he's definitely going to be wanting to find that ASAP, because that is definitely very nice to find. All right, Raikou Rider gonna make the play to pick up the 300 rupees here to give him the money he needs for Zora. No MF Hylian, that is not allowed. No overworld glitches. Sorry. Hitaka helping old man Gary back into his little cave home. Gonna pick up his hookshot and head over to Paradox Cave. Raikou making the same play right behind him. Well, even if we were Willard, we would be in trouble if we did overworld glitches. And to answer the question, no, Willard did not cheat to win the game. He just memed very hard and didn't use hookshot to get across the bridge once, and it was a good time. It was a good show. We did a good job. And Quake Medallion, I must have missed that before in Zeus' first pass through in Paradox, so I believe that we might need that for Misery Mire or Turtle Rock, which we don't know yet if either of them are crystals or pendants. All right, Raikou and Hitaka also having picked up their fire rods and their first bottles. Sinus, our final runner, restreamed here to go through and do the Kraid fight. We'll see if we get 4 out of 4 Kraid quick kills, as Raikou and Hitaka are both making the play up to check Hera. Looks like Raikou actually got the bomb jump across Paradox Cave, and Hitaka had to walk around. Raikou makes it past the red Tektites there, and there is no blue Tektite on this side for him this time. So he's definitely going to be checking out the Ether Tablet before dipping into Tower of Hera. And very nicely done, Sinus with the Kraid quick kill. That's all 4 of our restream runners. Yo, Varia on Ether Tablet. So I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be really excited to have picked up the Book of Modora on their way through Red Tower. Raikou is not going to dip into Hera, though. He's heading back over to East Death Mountain. Sinus picking up his 3rd sword, so he's now on Tempered Sword. Most of our other runners will likely get there as well once they get their boots and head out to Bonkrock's Cave. And the small key for Tower of Hera is in the front basement. And we will have to see here if the big key is going to be... All right, first item of Hera. So Hitaka... Does he not get Lamp? But he's got Fire Rod. I guess he's just banking on Hera not having anything since it's a pendant. All right, Zeus heading over to Sahashula's hut. He'll be able to pick up his Pegasus boots. And then we may actually see him dip into Eastern because he is able to fully clear that. Getting that little bit of info letting us know that the green pendant is at Swamp Palace, which we had already read once before, but... there's Raikou's other fire source. And Sinus is actually going to give us a couple hell runs here. He's going to Mock Ball. Oh, he didn't have to Mock Ball. That's right. Speed Booster. Haha. All right. Checking out Ice Beam here from Sinus. Ice Beam is some rupees, $100 right there. First chest in Eastern Palace is the map. And yes, Aga is still entirely possible. We don't have a glove or a lift upgrade yet, so we don't have our Dark World access. Aga 1 could be logically our access into the Dark World to then make it through across both across the river as well as through the pegs toward Hype Cave. And Zeus gets that big key on the right chest. Alright, so all 3 of Raikou, Hitaka, and Zeus will be in Eastern Palace. So be able to see a bit more progression here. Sinus taking the hell runs a little bit more seriously. He's gonna pop over to Bubble Mountain where he sees the red mail upgrade. Though for him it will be blue. The big chest of Eastern holding the compass. really nice wall jumps there for Sinus heading over to check out the Upper Norfair Reserve area, starting off with some power bombs. Oh, we got an ether medallion and some missiles, so he's going to pick up that ether just in case that is needed. Ooh. All right. Sinus made it back to Bubble Mountain here. He's going to drain his reserves. He's only got 20. So he may be considering doing a Crystal Flash instead. Yeah, he's taking some damage, so that's what he'll be doing. Zost, having picked up the final chest in the Eastern Palace, is going to be heading to the back. I believe that means Armos has an item for us. And Sinus with a really good Crystal Flash. And he'll be able to head up towards Speed Booster location. Oh no! he got bumped by the cack attack there. What a bully. Such a bully. Xander08 in chat asking, how do you do the Crystal Flash? It requires a couple different things. You have to be below 50 energy. You have to have your reserve empty. You need at least 10 missiles, 10 super missiles, and 11 power bombs. And what you'll do is you'll go down into Morph, hold the L and R buttons, and then press and hold the shoot button, which will drop a power bomb, and do not move. Zost finishes up with Eastern Palace, gets his first crystal, which also is a 5/6 crystal, but no gloves there. All right, so Zost making the play over to Desert Palace. He could have gone over to Bonk Rocks and stuff first and picked up that third sword, but since he was already over and could save and quit. Oh yes, yeah, that's correct. So once you morph, press hold down, left and right, and the shoot button, and then don't move, because if you move, you will kind of mess up the placements for that. And the Bass Beast, or Bass Beast, I don't know, maybe you really like fish, with another good question. How do you Pegasus Boots dash through a key lock door without bunking? It kind of depends, because if you're coming into a door and you just have a straight direction to go, like if you already have a small key, so long as you don't move out of the doorway and just start dashing as soon as you enter into the room, you will be able to just dash straight through. So something like in Ganon's Tower. Ooh, Desert's Palace, boots locked. Nice. If you're in Ganon's Tower going up the gauntlet after the 2 mimic rooms, as soon as you go out of that second mimic room through the hallway where the first big key door is, you can just dash straight from that doorway. Otherwise, I think you have to line it up with a pixel, or like you step into the doorway and then boost, or like boots dash up, and I think that should work as well. All right, Raikou, not having been through the escape area yet, is going to go through Hyrule Castle real quick before heading over to Desert Palace. Though it looks like Desert Palace is probably going to be possibly glove locked, though finding a shovel at Agina's cave, that could be our glove. Still gonna need a glove to get to the back of Desert to fully complete it, but yeah, that could be at shovel, or it could be the second item in Tower of Hera. Alright, and Zos with the powder as well. So he's got a couple different options. He's gonna check Agina's cave here. Oh. Or maybe not. He's gonna go this way to check Agina's cave. He'll see that shovel, and then he may be thinking just to get both Magic Bat and the dig spot out of the way. Oops, threw the bomb the wrong direction. Alright, and one more crystal flash from Sinus here, as he's pretty much... Well, I was gonna say he has gone through most of the heated rooms that he would need to, but he's gonna make a play to Crockermeyer. Wave Beam in hand, this is in logic, outside of it being in a hell run. So I guess it's not in logic at all. Good job, Tess. Yeah. Raikou taking the path all the way up to the Dark Cross room. He'll be getting his Cane of Burnet as well. Oh no! Raikou's gonna go do Aga. Alright, so Dig Spot does not have our gloves. But Raikou is just gonna make the play over to Aga using Fire Rod, half magic, really easily done. And Zos trying to get the spin speed there from the sword, gets it. He's gonna leave the missiles in the library for now. Sinus with a single charge plasma shot right at Crockermeyer, and Crockermeyer's like, nope, I'm out. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right, Magic Bat from the powder at Desert Ledge will get us what? Missiles. All right, so is Crockermeyer going to be the play with Varia at either? All right, Zos heading over here. Hopefully stomping... Okay, he's going to go to Bunkrock, so he will get his Tempered Sword. I think followed immediately by Hidaka. Yep. Oh, no. Sinus didn't quite get that Shine Spark off in time to make it across this little walkway. Nice. Sinus uses a little bit of momentum from his speed booster and the high jump boots to make it up to this item, which is just a heart piece. Alright, and Sinus heading over to the cosine room here. Gonna dip through a little bit of lava. Yo, space jump! That's pretty nice. That's nice to find. I would say definitely Croc is worth it. Varia, space jump. And we know where gravity is, but we need that mirror. And Zo's giving us a peek at Spike Cave. Half magic, Cane of Burna, boots, easy. Couple items left here behind. Oh no! I forgot Zos didn't have gloves! Aw! Oh no. Oh, and I totally missed the grapple beam item watching Zost. Aw, man. Oh, I'm sorry, Zost. Oh, and Hitaka with the fancy shovel dash. Woot! Swag. All right, more ball bombs. I missed that earlier when Zeus checked it, but that does give us a can fly outside of Space Jump, but still gonna need the pretty much the gravity suit and of course mirror and everything for that. But our Dark World access still locked behind those gloves, so alright, Sinus makes it through the Crockermire area, and Zost also making the same plays here. Of course, all of this totally in logic as we see Hitaka already with the various suit going through these same rooms without the heated damage. Raikou rocking it out still with Agawan. Seems to have been quite a few blue balls, I wasn't counting them. And as we see, Sinus, having picked up the red mail, is actually wearing what I believe is a Phazon suit. And we do see the blue pendant at Skullwoods and the second 5-6 crystal in Misery Mire. So we pretty much gonna need at least one medallion if Misery Mire and Turtle Rock share the medallion. Otherwise, could still require that ether medallion from the Norfair's reserve area. Alright, so Sinus sees that gravity suit and the rupees there in Spectacle Rock, and he'll be forgetting also that he doesn't have mirror. But he's gonna get his Dark World map check, so I guess from here he can try to go into Spike Cave, maybe? Sinus, you don't have gloves, my boy. Aw, man. Aw, man. He's going for it, though. Oh, he didn't get cape. And it looks like Palace of Darkness is bow locked, so at least we're happy that we have bow, but we did not get a small key in that first chest, so... Alright, Zost and Hitaka heading through the Crockermire area. They'll be getting Zost just picking up his space jump, and Hitaka will be following shortly behind. Alright, the grapple beam item that I missed, 20 rupees, and the Indiana Jones? Another 20 rupees, alright. Raikou making it through the right side bow locked area. Gonna bomb open this wall. Oh, alright. Probably gonna be getting 2 small keys, so we've got 1 there, and this will... Oh, missiles, alright. Sinus picking up his fire rod and blue bottle. So as far as the discussion in chat about the bunny sprite for Samus, I don't remember which one it is for the regular Samus, but I think the Zero Suit Samus is a Metroid. Alright, Reku just getting a couple more keys from the chests here. And another key. Palace of Darkness has so many keys. Alright, Zos making his run through the remaining heated rooms for his hell runs. Not in logic, of course, in normal mode, but he does pick up that Ether Medallion. And Hitaka is going to make the play into Lower Norfair. So I think that if Zos had picked up the Varia suit at Ether, that he probably would be making the same play. But for now, Hitaka is going to go with the Lava Dive. Gets it first try. Very well done. Alright. Raikou, I believe... still looking for the big key? Yeah, there it is. Alright, so now we'll see Raikou head over to the Dark Maze here in Palace of Darkness. And Hitaka is going for the space jump item on his way to Gold Chorizo. Ooh, flippers in the Dark Mesa pod. The Chozo that Hitaka is currently at, if you were to come here in Lower Norfair without space jump, and you were to climb into the claws of that Chozo there, he wouldn't actually activate. It is required that you have space jump in order for that Chozo to activate and do anything. So I always think that's kind of a cool thing. Kind of similarly to like the bomb Chorizo won't activate and you won't have to fight him if you don't already have the Morph Ball bombs. And Sinus is actually going to go through Hera here. There is one more item that we have not seen in this dungeon yet, so this could potentially be the glove access that we're looking for. Raikou is going to head back and finish up Palace of Darkness. I think that I'd have to see his menu, but I think that we've seen all the items. Oh no, we have not. Okay, so we have one more item at Helmsar King. Alright, and Hitaka making his first dip into the Dark World here, checking out his map. He did make it through Gold Chorizo. I don't see anything new marked on his tracker, so I don't think there was any progression or anything there, simply because I was just watching Raikou and Sinus there for a second. Checking out the Meyer Shed, though. Yo. And the Meyer medallion is Bombos. So the only medallion that we actually haven't seen yet, they're being required for Misery Meyer. Alright, and it looks like Sinus may have found the second item in Eastern and then dipped. Makes sense, since it's a pendant. Alright, Helmsar King coming up as Hitaka makes that great spark through the pillars there in Lower Norfair. and Sinus checking the Spiral Cave. So both items in Tower of Hero were heart containers? Yabza. Really good worst room in the game for Hitaka. Having Space Jump definitely makes that a lot easier. Zo's given us our X-ray check, doing some nice debumps off of these, the waivers here. And 50 rupees from Helmosaur King. So nothing there in Pod except those flippers, which could possibly still lead to something within Ice Palace. We might see whether or not that's going to push Raikou over to Zora. I'm trying to decide what in the Brinstar location Zost is thinking about. Yeah, Raikou looks to be heading over to Hype Cave. Not a bad play because there are the 5 items available in there, plus being able to route in Stumpy up to Dig Game. And Hitaka here in the Wastelands, making sure to stay away from those Duskigas. They do quite a bit of damage. 300 rupees is our first item as we find Ice Beam at Power Bombs of Shame. Heart Piece, Heart Container, missiles, and more missiles in Hype Cave. Alright, so I do believe that actually gives Hitaka a full beam combo with Plasma, Wave, Charge, Ice. So that's definitely nice to see. Might not see him picking up very much more as far as ammo goes. He is a little short on supers with only, I think that's 15. I can't tell if that's 15 or 35. The quality on the commentary restream is a little low, but normally with a full beam combination, most runners will stop picking up ammo. Thanks, guys. Chat, you're the best. Alright, so we're checking out Bumper Ledge. Already having Magic Cape, so that would have been a good place for an item, but no progression there as Raikou heads into Skullwoods. 2 items here. It's a fairly quick check. Hitaka doing really good against Ridley. Getting, oh, just missed that swoop, but finishes him off very nicely done. Looks like Zost made it up to the Ether Tablet and picked up his Variasuit. Might be feeling like a little frustrated that he went to Spike Cave first, but yo, mirror. And what was that behind Ridley? Dang it, I missed it. I think it was just bombs. Flute! Oh gosh, I knew it was blue. I thought it was bombs. Alright, so 2 really great items to find. It's a little frustrating to find Flute behind Ridley, because that would have been nice to skip the whole lava dive, but still, that's totally fine. That will give us our full Mire access once we find both glove upgrades, so still on the hunt for our gloves. I can't tell if this is Raikou checking for the final item in I'm sorry, in Skullwoods, or okay, I think he's just heading directly for Mothula. Oh, Raiku's gonna give us a pedestal check. That's what's going on right now. To answer Xander's question, yes, Billy Mays was a pack of 3 bombs and a shield. A couple of our runners actually have picked those up. Blue goo in a bottle. All right, so blue potion. Probably not going to be seeing anybody pull pedestal. No, Sinus. No. Aww. All right, so we do see our first glove item there in the jail item here in Lower Norfair. So having picked up Varia, that definitely does put all of this in logic. Especially for the Dark World access. Is a gravityless lava dive in normal logic? I don't actually know. I don't know. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say. It is an Aga skip for sure, but depending on well, I mean, I guess that is actually everything pretty much that we could have checked ahead of time, right? Hitaka does not have the mirror. Mirror was in Skullwoods. Raikou has the mirror. Okay. So Aga 1 is required. Nice. For Dark World access, to get to Skullwoods, to get Mirror, to go get Gravity, to then make your way through Lower Norfair with both suits. And there's our Bombos medallion for Meyer. Alright, Zost making the play into Lower Norfair now, also having done a lava dive, a very nice one, if I may say so. He'll also be going through the Gold Chorizo location here, and then we'll see him head over towards Ridley. Raikou gonna make a little bit of a boop here by trying to head over to Catfish with no gloves. As he just realizes, but yeah, since Raikou is the only person who's gone into Palace of Darkness, Zora is in logic. Just would have had to use the lake portals to get there. Right, Enzo's finishing up with Gold Chorizo, and he will be heading on his way. Probably check the mire area just in case. Yeah, all right. So Zo's going to dip into the Meyer shed here, gets the information about bombos being needed for Misery Meyer, and Raikou making the first move pretty much over here at Death Mountain to pick up that gravity suit. Alright, and I believe Hitaka has finished checking out all of the upper Norfair locations outside of Crocomire. And he's taking the upper route through Cathedral, so I don't think that he'll probably be planning on routing Crocomire in. Oh wait, he already went. Never mind. Sinus gonna dash down here to the desert ledge to pick up his magic powder. And then he's heading back into Desert Palace. Alright, a couple checks here in the Village of Outcast. The chest game just given a little bit of garbage. Oh, nice. That Shine Spark to kill those two key hunters is really nice to get those echoes down. Hitaka, I believe now on his way out of Norfair, he's pretty much cleared out both upper and lower Norfair, so at least now he knows that the mirror is likely somewhere in the Dark World. Gotta be. Right, small key in the front half of Thieves Town. That makes it so that we're able to open and access the big chest in the basement. There are ways to get around the big gold metal block in the bottom. Hey, look! It is Zero Suit Samus. Woohoo! There is a way that you can route around the big silver block. There's a door that you can kill all the enemies in the room and it will open. And that allows you to go down to the left and around the big block. Zo's just a couple of rooms away from Ridley, having picked up his Ice Beam Charge Plasma Wave. He's got the full beam combo as well. Hitaka activating his flute. Raikou getting bullied a little bit by the harmless Hellway enemies here. Grabbing that small key, gonna head up to the ceiling attic area to bomb the floors so we can finish up Thieves Town. Zo's done with Ridley. Killed our space pelican as Hitaka picks up his bombos. He knows that he will need that for his Misery Meyer access. Still looking for Cane of Samaria before that's fully completable, but it could be in Misery Meyer. Zost with the flute as Sinus finishes up his fetch quests from Desert Palace. Gonna be doing the dig here. Hitaka is actually giving us our first look at the back of Escape, being the only person with gloves currently. Gets the small key, missiles, and some more missiles! Hitaka is going to go through this area backwards since he didn't come in through the front, so he'll be getting his Cane of Burna. Raikou going the long way around here in Thieves Town, which is pretty much the only way you can go without gloves, so... Oh, getting bullied by the berries. Nice, makes it through. He's got the small key from the front of the dungeon, so he'll be able to check this item. Just the compass. Boo. Alright, Hitaka heading back over to the desert area. Still thinking about where that book could, or where the mirror could be. So he's gonna finish up with desert. Can't go that way, Raikou. Oops. Sina is gonna give us our first check of Zora, I believe. King Zora today just selling some Super Metroid Arsenal. Sinus doesn't think that's worth 500 rupees. Alright, Zost, having seen the gloves, gonna be heading through to pick those up. Ooh, using the magic cape to make it through blind. Not a bad thing to do. Half magic makes that a lot easier. Alright, and we finished up with Blind's Hut, or Thieves Town, I suppose, as Zeus gets his first set of gloves. Sinus will be our second and only other restreamed player to actually go through and make the Aga play, which is what you are supposed to be doing in Legend. Zost about to get his Titan's mitts. He's probably really glad to see both of those here, so he knows that the Lore Nor Fair play was the way to go. And the Aga is not required for him in his sequence break. Super missiles in the brewery there. Alright, Raikou heading over to do the dig game, which I thought I'd seen him already do, but maybe I'm wrong. Alright, supers from the digging game. Hitaka gonna be dropping down into Skull Woods. Happy to find the mirror very soon. Alright, we're getting a South of the Grove cave check here. Big 20. And Stumpy with the grapple beam. So, Sizix in chat asking, don't you need the gravity suit for Go mode? He knows where the gravity suit is. It was behind the mirror, and for some reason, people just like to say that even though they don't have the item, they're in Go mode, which is technically true because they pretty much know that they can skip almost everything except the, obviously we're still looking for the Ice Rod and Cane of Samaria, but as far as completing Super Metroid, yes, they have the knowledge, they know where it is to go through and complete it. And they'll also, Hitaka here, going to be picking up some additional help as Reku's going to go back into desert. I'm pretty sure nobody has been anywhere new to pick up anything new. I think they were just saying that Ice Rod is something that we're still looking for. And Sinus giving the people what they love, a little swaganim with the net strats. Finishing up with Aga 1. Yeah, I don't see in anybody's inventory so far that anybody's picked up the Ice Rod. Yeah, I have a hard time saying that we're in Go mode in the combo randomizer simply because as much as we could be in Super Metroid Go mode, either of the two items that we're still looking for to complete the game could be in Super Metroid. So we don't necessarily want to be saying, oh, it's Super Metroid Go mode when potentially both Cane of Samaria and Ice Rod could be in Meridia. Yes, flips were in the top left chest of the Palace of Darkness Dark Maze. Hitaka going to be grabbing the fourth and final chest in the top half of the front of Thieves Town, and he'll be heading on his way down. Having gloves will make it a little bit easier to route the basement, but still going to be pretty quick clear. So at this point, once again, everybody's kind of checking things that somebody else has already done at least once. So I'm just gonna really quickly shout out once more. Make sure you guys are giving our runners a follow. Support them in all of their races and the runs that they do. We wouldn't be here without people who enjoyed playing these games. So make sure you give them a follow. Support them as much as you can. Also follow the Speed Gaming channels as well as Speed Gaming 2 through 8. Well, mostly 6, but yeah. All right, and back into Super Metroid for Raikou. This could be the Meridia play, seeing as nobody else has the gravity suit yet, and it would be the first person to head there. Zost making his play through Palace of Darkness, grabbing the big key, but he knows he's going to need at least one more key if he decides to do the hammer jump or the bomb jump in Palace of Darkness here. Though heading into the basement, he'll get the last 2 keys that he needs for the dungeon. Alright, and Regu gonna be making the play down to Crocomire, which is probably actually really nice. He'll find out that the space jump is down here, and that will make routing through Meridia quite a bit easier. So, I guess he's not going to Crocomire? I guess this is just his faster routing to... Yeah, I think he's just heading to Lower Norfair through this little hallway. So never mind, he's not going to Crocomire after all. Yeah, gotta get that 5 health. Plus also filling up reserves and stuff before heading into Lower Norfair. Sinus getting the... Oh, just barely got the bonk off the little wall there. If you reset the room, there you go. I was gonna say, if you leave the room and come back, then the stupid orb beetles and stuff that are normally there will reset back into the middle of the room. But he's actually gonna go check the vanilla big key chest. And Reiku with a really nice gravity dive. Raikou doesn't know it yet, but this is the correct play heading into Lower Norfair. Space jump isn't required, especially since we've already seen the items that are locked behind the space jump Chozo in Lower Norfair. And it looks like Stargazer in chat is correct that Hitaka is going through the blacksmith chain. I'm hoping he remembers where gravity was. Alright, Zost on the final phase of Helmasaur King, going for sword slashes rather than using the bow. He's got plenty of health, so he shouldn't be too much of an issue. Alright, and Raikou not even going into full Lower Norfair to clear that out. Gonna finish up Desert Palace first before picking up his gloves. Works out either way because he's already here and he doesn't have to loop back. He doesn't know that both gloves and the flute, which would be the faster access back to Misery Mire and Desert, are actually behind Ridley. So this isn't a terrible idea since he has Mirror here. He's able to go through and finish out Desert Palace. Alright, Zosti gonna check the pyramid ledge since he didn't do Aga, so there's a couple different things that he can check out here that he hadn't yet. Not even gonna go for that E-Tank. He does have the 8 E-Tanks that he was probably mostly looking for. All right, Fire Rod Landmo, and Raikou is done. Picking up his 4th crystal. Right, Zosi is actually going to make the play over to Catfish, our first of the restreamed runners able to do so. So this will be new information for us. Could potentially be our Ice Rod or the Cane of Sumaria that we are still looking for, as well as the item here in the purple chest for Hitaka. Purple chest is a pack of super missiles, which is nice. Hitaka only had 15 super missiles earlier, so might be happy to see some of those. And the grumpy fish today holding a heart container. Woohoo! And the Bombos tablet today having an eat tank. Plenty of health going around. Raikou doesn't appear to have even bothered going for the placement to stand right below Gold Chorizo, simply because Charge Plasma is really nice against Gold Chorizo. Right, sees that big 20 and the bombs that he's not going to pick up. All right, Zost finishing up with the Pyramid Fairy, or I'm sorry, with the Waterfall Fairy. Now that he's picked up his flippers from Pod, he's also going to pop over, check the Zora Ledge, and probably pay King Zora. Cyan is finishing up with Palace of Darkness as well. Going to be getting his first crystal. Actually, that should be his second crystal. I'm pretty sure he's already done Eastern Palace. Right, Zos seeing the double missile action in the Zora domain. All right, so the way that Lenofis is talking in chat about how everybody's going to love where some items are in this game. And of course, we've already seen some crazy item locations with both gloves and flute behind Ridley and Lower Norfair. But does that mean that we're going to have something at Shaktul? I know this wasn't a plando. Definitely not a plando. Randomly generated. Nothing planned in its locations, but just wanted to showcase a couple of the new things. There's also besides the sprite, a couple different things like the low energy heartbeats, I think is turned off. And Aussie 101 in chat calling a green rupee the single rupee at Shaktul. And Raikou heading back into Lower Norfair since he saved and quit after heading back into Link to the Past once he finished with Gold Chorizo, I believe. Alright, Zo's making the play through the Dark World up to Skull Woods. So he'll be picking up his mirror soon, and that will also give him the gravity access that he needs up in Death Mountain on Spectacle Rock. Sinus likely going to be following pretty close behind once he does a couple overworld checks here in Village of Outcasts. Alright, that's both items in Skullwoods for Zosti. Nice. Raikou making it through. Ooh, I was about to Calm Curse. That would have been really sad. Raikou making it through. Worst room of the game with a couple really greatly done wall jumps there. Alright, he sees the rupees there at the Mickey Mouse room. Ah, and he takes the fall. I hate being there without space jump. Did he not pick up Morph Ball Bombs? Maybe not. Alright, so Raikou gonna be making the pass through the pillar room here again. Zo's dipping into Thieves Town. He'll be finishing that out quite quickly. And Hitaka heading back towards Helmasaur King. Almost done with Palace of Darkness. And back through worst room of the game. Very nicely done. Sinus checking the back chest here in Skullwoods first, which is an alright idea in case one of the two items is back here, or if you get that small key, then you can head back through the front and immediately open the door to the left. But he's also not doing that. Alright, well I guess Sinus is gonna head all the way back to Mothula. Alright, Hitaka finishing up with King Helmasaur. That is his 4th crystal. Alright, and Mothula is dead. I believe we'll probably get like the big key or the compass. So it could potentially be that the big key for Skull Woods is locked within the big chest. That can happen with a couple dungeons in Link to the Past, just because the boss doesn't have a door to get to it. So. Oh, okay. Thanks, mind of me. Alright, Zost finishing up with Blind as Hitaka picks up the E-Tank from Pyramid Ledge. Everybody's still on the hunt pretty much for the Ice Rod and Cane of Samaria, though obviously Raikou and Sinus are both also still looking for gloves, flute, and mirror respectively. Raikou about to find flute and gloves in Lower Norfair. Raikou or Hitaka need to go to Meridia so we can see some new stuff. Charge Plasma Ice with Wave on Ridley. Raikou finishes it up. Hitaka with the sad news of the 500 rupees for missiles from King Zora, as Sinus is going to go for the bomb jump before checking the beetle room south of the jail for the second item. It's the map. All right, Sinus gonna go pick up the X-ray. So he's still got Dragon that he could microwave. Dot dot dot. I mean, I guess when you're here and you've already checked Bumper Cave, you know, why not? Right, so Hitaka is going to go up to Turtle Rock's entrance and go through there, find out what medallion is needed for Turtle Rock, and then we'll likely see him go towards Hookshot Cave and then back towards Hera to pick up the gravity suit. So yeah, I think that he's probably just getting all of the Death Mountain checks out of the way. Sinus gonna head over and check the Graveyard Ledge for his Piece of Heart. Oh, and King's Tomb to get Bombos, right. All right, so Turtle Ruckus Quake. Very nice. I mean, it's like we always say, Hookshot Cave has 4 items. The key to the front of the house, or the key to the house, is always right outside the front door. So Super Bunny Cave could potentially have it. Hookshot Cave could have it. We will also need Ice Rod to complete what, but they could both be here. Bee in a bottle is not what I was looking for. 10 arrows, also not what I was looking for. Raikou gonna be picking up his glove here in a second. First chest in Hookshot Cave is an E-Tank. Second chest, an E-Tank. Oh no, he clipped the pot there with the hookshot, so he fell down. Third chest, a big 20. Fourth chest, some missiles. All right. Alright, so taking the chest over to flute path number 7 makes it a little bit faster to wrap that in. Hitaka is going to go into Spike Cave now that he's got the gravity suit. And we'll actually be able to see what this item is since both other runners who have been here didn't have gloves at the time. This could be like a French vanilla cane cave. We have the red cane instead of the blue. Nope. $50. Alright, Hitaka has the flute in hand. Where are we going? Zost right behind, coming up to check out the Dark Death Mountain locations. And it looks like we're going to Ice Palace. Alright. This will be pretty easy. Half magic. I think we've got at least one blue potion. Fire Rod Bombos. So Cold Stare will be a piece of cake. Definitely plenty of health. Red Mail, easy. And I literally just read what you said, Stargazer, as item Destiny. And I was like, I guess it could be destined that an item that we need is in here. Alright, Zost, having finished up the Hookshot Cave here, gonna actually go to the floating island. I don't actually recall what was on the floating island, like ammo or something. No, big 20. Big waste of time. Okay, not really a big waste of time, but... Alright, Raikou gonna head over and pick up the Ether Medallion, which unfortunately is pretty useless in this seed so far. Zo's heading through the spiral cave, which we've already seen. Sinus have checked earlier. And Hitaka doesn't have any small keys, so he will have to go down through the freezer room, or at least loop back. Won't be able to use a small key to head directly right. So it looks like Zost may be the only one that doesn't actually pick up the red mail, so he won't be wearing his Phazon suit. Maybe he just likes the look of Gravity Suit the best. I think it's pretty. Alright, and Zostu picked up his Gravity Suit, probably gonna dip back into Spike Cave now that he's got his gloves. Hitaka finds the big key as Sinus finishes up with Thieves Town. Raikou gets a peek at that E-Tank. He may pick it up on his way back if he decides to come through this way, or if he goes through the Frog Highway. We'll see. Alright, Zost makes it through with a slim half of a heart there in Spike Cave to pick up his 50 bucks. Hitaka finds another item there for a bomb capacity upgrade. And Raikou finally making the play down to Crocomire. He does not yet have his space jump, so this is him heading down to bet on Croc. Alright, and Hitaka gonna actually go for the Ice Palace big chest here. Makes a clip through the block really easy. Grabs a small key. And Zost looks to be heading for Meridia, or at least the back half of Meridia, heading directly towards Dragon. So this will be the first person making the play into Meridia, same as Hitaka being our first runner to actually go into Ice Palace. Doing a really good job making it through the Coliseum here. Oh, just misses that super missile shot. Checking out the precious missile items, which is a power bomb pack, and into the Dragon Arena we go. I believe that Hitaka's checked all of the item locations outside of the one item remaining on Cold Stare, and I think based on the key count that it's probably a small key. So alright, Raikou picking up his Space Jam. They're behind Crocomire. Gonna check out the two remaining locations. And Hitaka dropping into the Cold Stare fight as Zost is just finishing up with Dragon. Gets the blue suit. Oh, very nicely done with Cold Stare. Fire Rod, very, very nice. Gets that small key. And bomb capacity upgrade behind Dragon. Alright, and Swamp Palace from Sinus. This is also all new information, so Ice Palace finished up with Hitaka. He's gonna mirror and flute, but to where? Vanilla E-Tank behind... Oh, no, that's not E-Tank. That's Spring Ball. Alright, so we'll be heading south here. Quite a few more item locations available in Meridia for Zos to check. Starting off with the 2 items in the Aqueduct. Behind Speed Booster, just a missile and super missile. I think that actually could be almost vanilla. And I think Hitaka also looks to be making the play over to Meridia. And Zost is going to go check Plasma, I believe, before doing the sand pits, just in case there's nothing at the sand pits or here at Sandy Beaches and the Wishing Well. Sinus looks to be heading back to towards Argus directly, so he's leaving left side. Silver arrows, definitely a nice item to find. But I think we're still looking for Big Key. Oh! Silver's in Kingdom Samaria. Yo! Dropping a couple bombs. Alright, so there is one of our 2 items we are still looking for as far as commentary and chat, knowing the full route of the seed. And it looks like Zo's heading over to a Mama Turtle. Our first Mama Turtle item, bombs in the second, a big 20. As Raikou and Zost kind of have a high five moment here in the Mama Turtle room, getting a little sync on. Hitaka going with Charge Plasma Ice Wave. Plasma does a lot of damage to Dragon because you're not supposed to have it before you get to Dragon, so she tends to take quite a bit of damage. And a single silver arrow into the eye of Argus, and Sinus finishes up getting the missile. So I believe that is actually Map, Compass, and Big Key are on the left side and in the big chest. So alright, Zost did the Mama Turtle checks and up to Main Street missiles. Did a reset back to Aqueduct, so I think we'll probably be getting some of the Sandpit checks as well as potentially Shaktul. So Green Pendant Swamp Palace holding our King of Samaria as well as the Silver Arrows. Definitely going to want to see people making the play up there. Yeah, I'm hoping that Sinus will remember that a gravity suit was on Spectacle Rock. Maybe... Oh, I was going to say maybe that's where he's going now, but... Zofsty going to give the people what they want, and he's heading over to Shaktul. So it looks like the sand pits today not holding any items or progression that we like to see, but Shaktul could still be the play. Sinus with the green pendant and the blue pendant in hand, possibly thinking, man, is this going to be a pedestal seed? So he's going to pop over and check to see whether or not Glove could be there or Ice Rod. right, Shack Tool today holding the ice rod. Oh, wow, Leno. Wow. All right, we got an Agaped seed. No, Aga Shack seed. No pedestal required. Yeah, and that does officially slide commentary and chat into no mode. The only other things that we could really even care to want to know where is might possibly be screw attack. Outside of that, I think that we good, y'all. We got all the beams that we want, all the suits. There's Sinus picking up his gravity suit, so I'm hoping he'll head over to Lower North Air. Right, Reku's gonna be happy to have made the trek over to Shack Tool. Gonna be picking up his ice rod. Yeah, Reku, as soon as he finishes up with Batoon E-Tank area and Dragon and sees that spring ball, he'll probably be like, oh man, he's only got 3 power bombs. He didn't soft lock, right? Okay, good. I was gonna say he can make it out. Oh, and I missed the plasma. Plasma beam item while I was watching Reku pick up his ice rod. Mushroom. Okay. Thank you, Stargazer. All right, Sinus gonna be turning in that green pendant, possibly still thinking that something good could be behind the pendant there, having finished up with Swamp Palace. Yo, that is pretty good. I will say that Swamp Palace, even with that green pendant turn in for Butter Sword, is it's really nice. Hitaka checking the wishing well there, seeing the power bombs and rupees. All right, so we did see the single green rupee, but not at Shack Tool like Aussie 101 predicted. Definitely still worth it at Shack Tool. And Hitaka making the right sandpit play. Hopefully he'll pop in to Shack Tool after this as well. Sinus going to be grabbing the Bumbo's tablet item, which I believe was an E-Tank. Right, Zost turning in his mushroom that he picked up from Plasma. I don't know if we'll see anybody else go there. We might, since most people will probably want to avoid Green Pendant Swamp Palace. Fortunately, Hitaka is not really going to have any other options outside of doing a couple checks or even going to Plasma. So And Zos looks to be making the play to Meyer before dipping into Swamp Palace. Not going to be able to find his Cane of Samurai, so will be a double dip. And Raikou on his way over to Dragon. I'm going to be finishing that up and then probably... Wait, why are you going for Ice Clip, Raikou? You've got Speed Booster. Hello? Well, got it. Alright. Charge Beam does a lot of damage to Batoon, and Raikou running past that item and then thinks, oh, maybe I want that. Let's go back. Alright, Hitaka also heading over to the Plasma Beam. We'll pick up his mushroom. Alright, so Sinus looks like he's actually gonna go for a grapple roast instead of the microwave strats. Oh, there we go. He switched over. Ooh, almost had it in one phase. But he'll get it here. Nice. Zo's getting the E-Tank there, and taking off. I don't know if we saw the big key, but then I also don't know if he's just decided that found both items. Yeah, Raikou without the X-ray is just going for Charge Plasma Ice Wave shots. Still does a lot of damage on Dragon, as I said before. You're not supposed to have Plasma Beam until after, so it does quite a bit of damage. But Raikou got snagged, so I guess he's going to go for the grapple if he can get it. Yay! Hitaka gonna see the power bombs there from the mushroom. Alright, Sinus also has his mushroom from the Plasma Beam as Raikou finishes up with all of the Meridia locations and seems to be heading possibly towards Missouri Mire. He's got his mirror out. I think that's where, or not Missouri Mirror, Ice Palace. So I think that's where he's heading. Not really sure where Zost is going, because he can't get to Turtle. I mean, he can get into Turtle Rock, but he can't go anywhere. Yeah, I think he just realized he doesn't have cane. He got the blue cane, but not the red cane. Wrong color. Alright. Ice Palace looks to be the play for Zos now. Makes sense. You full clear it. There's a lot of items. And it's a crystal dungeon, so... Alright, so Sinus, the last one to Shactual, but gonna be really grateful when he sees that ice rod. It's definitely worth the time, and he's having fun with his spring ball, so I'm glad he's keeping himself entertained. Don't do it! Sinus, no! Hitaka making the play. He's already been into Ice Palace and knows that both Missouri Mire and Turtle Rock cannot be cleared without that glorious red candy cane. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum. Man, Sinus is gonna make me cry. All right, Sinus getting the Main Street Missiles Shine Spark. Very well done. Sees the big 20. And I think he is done in Meridia, so he should be heading out. He might be heading back towards the back door for Meridia. Oh, yeah, that's right. He hasn't done Mama Turtle. That's right. Hitaka about to come up on the silver arrows here in this first chest. Yeah, Aussie 101 to correct Lenofis in chat is actually our current world record holder. So, what is it like? 2 hour, 2 minute? Aussie? It's pretty close to sub 2, right? 211. That's right. Sinus definitely has Ice Rod. He was at Shack Tool. And Hitaka letting out a couple frustration slashes there at the Cane of Samaria in that left side drown chest. That puts Hitaka in official go mode, an hour and 26 minutes in. Right, Zost finishes up with Cold Stare in Ice Palace here, and that is hopefully gonna nudge him towards Swamp Palace. We're gonna have to pick that up. Alright, I have gone through and I think I've updated the tracker, so if anything else is missing or incorrect, let me know. Oh, Ice Palace for Toast. Yeah, for anybody who is curious if a runner has silver arrows, the arrow icon at the top of their screen should show it, unless they've gone in and manually turned it off. But yeah. Alright, Zost is gonna check the Bombos tablet here, and then hopefully while he is, or he'll go back to the Dark World. Yeah. Now hopefully he'll head over and dip into Swamp and pick up that Cane of Samaria. And I can't tell if Hitaka is trying to set up the spooky action glitch. With the boots dash. Oh, I think he's trying. I don't think he got it though. Alright, Zost is making the play into Swamp Palace, so he will shortly also be in go mode. Raikou doing a couple overworld checks, kind of following through with flippers that he's picked up. And I think he's already bought the item from King Zora, but I could be mistaken. Silver arrows per eye on Vitreous. And then 2 shots to the big eye, and Vitreous is dead. Alright, Sinus making the play over to Crocomire again? Or is he just taking the shortcut over? Nah, looks like he might be heading towards Lower Norfair now. Excellent. Zeus gonna be picking up his silver arrows here in this chest. Oh, and then Zeus is gonna go full left, I think. So that's gonna put him in another couple minutes behind because I'm pretty sure that all that's over here is just that map and compass. So. Alright, Hitaka has already opened the door for Turtle Rock. So he should be able to just pop through the portal, jump down, and head in. Alright, and Hitaka pretty much just going to be looking for the big key and then heading straight to Trinix. He'll probably also open a couple more chests just to look for some small keys, as he will need a couple to progress through Turtle Rock, but should be a fairly quick Turtle Rock. We might not see a laser bridge. And Raiku's going to be turning in... Is it going to Sick Kid? Yeah, I think so. Sinus at Gold Chorizo. Alright, power bombs and a heart container, or a piece of heart. Hitaka could have actually just gone straight to the back without checking the right side. So we should have a vanilla Turtle Rock big key. Alright, Zost about to pick up his Cane of Samaria and will be in go mode at 2:33:14. I believe that's currently... What is that? Like 6 minutes behind Hitaka? Alright, and we should get a big key in the chest here, which is vanilla in Turtle Rock. Sinus on his way over to the Lower Norfair Ridley area. Cyvenex in chat asking if Wild Anaconda is running, just not featured. Wild Anaconda usually doesn't do the weekly races, just based on his schedule, especially on a Monday because of school and everything that he does. So. Alright, Sinus making his way through worst room in the game as Raikou finally takes that powder from Desert Palace to check out what the magic bat's holding today. And still looking for a couple more small keys. There has to be a small key in this roller room coming up to get past it, and then a small key will be somewhere on Laser Bridge. And Zo's looking for the big key here in Misery Mire so that he can make it to the back and progress to the boss. He did already check the left items and should just be able to head to the right. All right, and there it is. Hitaka going over to Laser Bridge. Gonna do some laser skips. First chest is a missile pack. Second chest is that small key that we were looking for. And on to Trinex for Hitaka as Raikou makes the climb up Death Mountain. Where are you going? I'm not sure if he's checked Hookshot Cave or anything yet. And Sinus on his way through Lower Norfair on just about to the Metal Pirates room before Ridley. Half magic, tempered sword. Trinex should be fairly quick for Hitaka. Alright, first two finished, onto the final head and the end of Trinex for Turtle Rock. Oh, nice. Alright, Raikou kind of following up here, doing Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave as Sinus drops into the Ridley fight. An E-Tank from Trinex and Zosti with silver in hand going to finish up with Vitriad. Yeah, let's get our guesses in chat. Stargazer starts us off for where do you guys think we will find that Ganon Tower big key? Any number between 1 and 22. Go ahead and get your guesses in chat. This is not a tournament race. Since there's no tournament going on right now, we won't actually run the bot, but I usually guess item chest number 9, or depending on the routing, I would say Fire Snake Room. And it always ends up being that there is a key in that room, but it's almost always the small key, so. Sinus done with Ridley as Raikou Rider heads back into Super Metroid. First chest is a piece of heart, as the second chest is the final shield. Raikou's gonna go over and finish up the final Super Metroid boss for his run. Did Sinus pick up Flute? He did go in the Ridley room, right? Okay. Whew. Item number 3 in GT is not the big key. I'm gonna progress into the Stalfos room. Chest number 4, 50 rupees, 5. It's a missile. Item number 6, small key. And number 7, 300 rupees. Raikou's gonna still be looking for that Cane of Samaria, as chest number 8 is another small key. Coming up on chest number 9 in the Fire Snake room. Sinus making the climb out of Lower Norfair. He'll be able to find both his Power Glove and Titan's Mitts on the way out. Chest number 9, my guess. Told you it'd be a small key. I was right. It is the key, just not the big key. Alright, Zeus, having picked up the 2 items here on the right side roller room of Turtle Rock, gonna progress further. There it was. Just 11. So the base beast, having guessed, the only person to guess number 11, wins the big key guessing game. Whoop, whoop. All right, and as Hitaka opens up that second mimic room door, dashes straight through the hallway, right through the boss key door. All right, Sinus, having picked up both both of his lift upgrades within just a matter of moments of each other, has also entered go mode. Actually, in go mode before Raikou Rider, who still has to go into Swamp Palace to pick up that cane of Somaria. Very good land mode 2 by Hitaka. Gonna progress into the Wizrobe rooms, using the Cane of Samaria as a very efficient way to knock out all 3 of these Wizrobes per room. I honestly had no idea that this was ever a strat before watching anybody in the speedrunning community go through this, so... Zo's going to be coming up on the laser bridge shortly. We'll be picking up his final small key needed to go into the Trinex fight. Raikou just checked the wrecked ship E-Tank on the right side and reset after saying that it was just a super missile pack. Sinus with flute in hand and both lift upgrades going to activate his flute that will allow him to quickly route in Misery Mire with his mirror. He'll be able to also clear out Desert Palace and then Ice Palace as well to Turtle Rock. On to Moldorm 2. This is actually Hitaka's first fight with Moldorm, so do we really call him Moldorm 2 if it's the first fight? I don't know. Opening that final chest in Ganon's tower to get a piece of heart to top off his final heart piece. Alright, and Zeus onto the final phase of Trinex, just about finished and collected his 7th crystal as well. And Zeus finishing off with Trinex, going to be picking up his final E-Tank and last crystal, and on to Ganon's tower he'll go. Alright, Aga 2 down, and on to the Ganon fight for Hitaka. And then we'll probably see him save and quit after entering the Triforce room right back on top of the pyramid, and then on to Torian real fast. Tempered Sword is 12 slashes per Ganon phase. And already on to phase 3. Raiku's still on the hunt for that Cane of Samaria. Hitaka getting his arrows ready. Sinus having picked up the big key there for Misery Mine, dashing down to the basement. Did you find the silver arrows in Swamp Palace? Why, yes, Ganon, we did. Two doubles for Hitaka, and our Ganon fight is completed. So let's get 1G in chat for Hitaka, finishing up his first of 2 bosses. And then on to Torian Hiwoko. Zosti making the play to go right in Ganon's Tower. So similarly to his left side play in Swamp Palace, this will put him a couple more minutes behind. Makes it through the torch room. I'm going to be switching over to Cane of Samaria. I was going to say, with Charge Ice Plasma Wave, I don't imagine that we'll see Hitaka hop into the boat to get any sort of refill. He's got plenty of energy, and the ammo counts at this point really don't matter. So... Hitaka heading into the gold statues room. In the combo randomizer, the elevator is already available just to kind of speed up the whole process, because it's a long time waiting for that statue to change from the gold to the cold, dark metal of sadness. Bob's chest today, holding 300 rupees as Zost drops down into the Ice Armos room. Silver Arrows always makes quick work of the Armos fights. Well, pretty much any boss that can actually be hurt by them in Link to the Past. And the 3 items behind Armos: supers, missiles, and the compass. So we see Zost immediately mirror out. He'll have to go all the way to Rando Room, which is pretty much almost the entire left side to Ice Armos. So he'll be in for another minute or 2. Alright, we'll see here. Hitaka likely gonna go for Baby Skip. Setting it up pretty well so far. Doing a very good job. Oh no, got snagged at the end. Just before he heads into the Mother Brain fight, I'm gonna step away for 1 second so you guys can chat amongst yourself, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back just in time for Mother Brain. Oh, and Raikou is going to make a left side Swamp Palace play. I mean, at least he's in the right place, and he will get his King of Samaria shortly. But Hitaka going up against Mother Brain here as Zost starts the Super Metroid, or I'm sorry, the Ganon Tower Gauntlet climb. Alright, and Hitaka working it out to get the stand-up glitch. Have to have the right enough energy to take one full Rainbow Beam Blast, but then still be able to stand up after that beam. Incidentally, run yourself into Mother Brain to lower yourself below 1 E-Tank, and then you're able to continue moving and manipulating. You have to remain in the air when the baby Metroid comes out, otherwise you'll get stuck to the floor anyways. Zost finishing up with the second Wizrobe room in Ganon's Tower, heading on to the torch rooms. And as you see, the stand-up glitch allows you to damage Mother Brain while the baby Metroid is filling your health, so you're able to do damage to Mother Brain before getting the Hyper Beam, so that you only have to do like maybe 2, 3, 4 shots to Mother Brain at the end of the fight. There are a couple of ways that you can soft lock while doing this, so make sure that if you even try going for stand-up glitch, if you're not used to it, that you save for Mother Brain so you don't end up having to go through all of Torian again. And Hitaka with a really good Mother Brain fight. Very well done. Sinus on his second to last dungeon, finishing up with Cold Stare. Raikou just about to go to go mode. Raikou gets the King of Samaria as Hitaka begins his Super Metroid escape. And Zost is going back to tile room? Oh, he doesn't have a small key. Wow. Yikers. All right. Raikou gonna head directly to Misery Mire and then up to Turtle Rock afterwards, just so that he can be closer to Ganon's Tower when he gets his 7th crystal. Sinus on his way to Turtle Rock. Right, Hitaka gets the Shrine Spark up the Super Metroid escape shaft, and you see him go on through. Probably not going to save the animals, I would suspect. And Hitaka finishes in first place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 56 minutes, and 26 seconds. So GG's in chat. So very well done. Sub 3 seed, even with Aga Shaktul. And Hitaka should be joining us shortly. Speak of the devil, welcome Hitaka and GG.
Hi, GG.
Very well done. You routed perfectly to escape the AGA requirement for Dark World, so it was very impressively done.
Yeah, that worked out really well. It was,
Yeah.
both the gloves are pretty much right next to each other, too, so that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's definitely when I was like, well, I mean, another glove could still be like in Meridia somewhere, and then no, it was right there, so.
Yeah, this was definitely logically an Aga seed.
Yeah, and we had 2 of the restream runners who actually went through it and did AGA as far as the logic required. You and Zost were the other 2 who did not follow that logic path, so you guys saved a little bit of time there.
Yeah. And also, so this was an Aga and Shaktul seed, so that was pretty cool.
Yep. Thanks, Lenofus.
Yeah, and when I saw Ice Rod on Shaktul, he said this wasn't a plan, though, but I was starting to wonder at that point.
Yeah. It took a minute for quite a few people to make it into Swamp Palace to find that Cane of Samaria. That was your go mode. You had done pretty much everything else that you could do before that.
Yeah,
Is Green Pendant Swamp Palace not enough to draw you in?
I mean, there's 7 items in there, but I still had Meridian to do, which has like 15 or something, so I was just going to prioritize that first and then do Swamp. And I'm glad it worked out that way, because that way I found Ice Rod before Cane. If I found Cane first, I might have been tempted to like look in Turtle Rock for Ice Rod or something, so I'm glad that it worked out the way it did.
Right, and fortunately, even if you had done that, you had already done Ice Palace, so outside of full clearing the rest of Swamp Palace, possibly turning in Green Pendant, the only other things that you left in Turtle Rock were the 2 remaining item checks on Laser Bridge, so I don't know if it would have been too much more that you would have checked, but definitely having to then go back into Meridia.
There were also 2 items in Meyer, so...
Yeah, and Hera, I think you also left an item.
I bailed on since he was in the basement, I bailed on the other Hera item. I have no idea what it is.
It was another heart container or something, heart piece.
Okay.
Something not.
Yeah, that was going to be like my absolute last resort, super sad check. If it was there, I was just going to be really sad.
Yeah, but still, overall, GG's first place.
Thank you.
It was really well played, and you had a really good Ganon fight, and your stand-up with Mother Brain was also very impressive, so very well done.
Yeah, that went pretty well, except I blew Baby Skip at like the last moment, so...
Oh, yeah. I saw that right there, and I was like, oh, he's got this, and then, aw, so close. Well, you're welcome to stick around. I don't know if you have any other comments or questions. Zost is nearly done, and he'll probably be in if you want to chat or if you're planning on dipping out.
I thought it was funny how early all 3 microwave components were known, although I never got one of them. I doubt anyone went out of the way to get that X-ray scope.
Sinus has X-ray.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just after finishing Skull Woods when he picked up the mirror and he went to Bumper Cave. Then he mirrored and was like, well, I'm already right here, so he just went and grabbed it.
Oh, did the mirror troll anyone? Because I know some people do not like to go independent in Skull Woods at all.
Yeah, Raikou actually went there almost right away. He did Pod first after doing Aga, but then pretty much went right to Village of Outcasts straight into Skull Woods. So he had that first, and then I believe it was you who got it second, then Zost, and then Simus. So it kind of threw a few people off. And then it seemed like everybody, even though all of you knew where gravity was on Spectacle Rock, it took forever for all of you guys to actually go pick it up. I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a side trip, and
I guess by then,
I guess there was a lot of Zelda.
You had already done Lower Norfair too.
Yeah, and I'd already done Lower Norfair. Meridia is kind of like, you don't really want to do Meridia. You kind of want to put it off and hope that, you know, you get to go mode it, but it didn't work out that way this time.
Yeah, and that's also okay. There wasn't, besides Ice Rod, was there anything else in Meridia that was like really worth?
No.
A couple E-tanks, stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, there was the mushroom, which led to like nothing. So
power bombs, yeah. And just to quickly mention, Zost has finished up with Ganon, so we can get 1G in chat for Zost, and then we'll see him head into Torian. I think the only item that we haven't seen anybody find at all is Screw Attack. Nobody's found Screw Attack.
That's did anyone check pet? I never got around to that.
Yeah, it was a blue potion.
Okay. Screw Attack's probably in GT or something, like at Ice Armos or something that...
We've seen all of GT.
Oh, really? Someone...
Zost went GT? Full right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea where it is then. Maybe it's in Mire.
No, we've seen both items in Mire, too. I mean, it could have been, like, you know, I don't really know. I feel like we've seen everything. Oh, Pyramid Fairy. Leno says it's a Pyramid Fairy, of course.
Okay.
Because by the time you were doing Misery Mire, nobody was like, let's go check Pyramid.
Yeah, and this it just happened to work out that everything was available to make Lower Norfair doable, even out of sequence. Like there was Varia, there was High Jump to make a Lava Dive easy. Space Jump was helpful, although not necessary.
Charge Plasma, Ice right before Ridley.
Yeah, or even more bombs if you somehow didn't find High Jump or Space Jump, you could just IBJ it all, which is awful but doable. Yeah. So it was plenty of stuff to make it possible, so that was nice.
It's always so mesmerizing to watch Zost go through Torian.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, Sinus heading into Ganon Tower, just a little bit ahead of Raikou, simply because he ended up getting his go mode a little bit before Raikou. Nice baby skip by Zost.
Easy every time.
Except when I'm playing, because then I never do it, because I don't know it. Alright, Sinus is actually going to go full left, so he'll probably get that key pretty quickly.
So
yeah, that's right.
Is this a different Samus sprite than the regular Link to the Past rando?
No, there are two Samus sprites. One of them is the Zero Suit Samus that has like the blonde hair, kind of like the bunny sprite for this, and then the regular Samus sprite has been around for quite a while. It's not new, but a lot of people don't.
I had a bigger head, but maybe I misremembered.
Maybe. Actually, I think you might be right. I could be wrong. Maybe Leno has a different sprite than the normal one. I don't know. I feel like the body seemed shrunk, but the helmet seemed the right size, but I don't know. I mean, it could be something that Natalie from the combo community put together, since she's put together a lot of the new Super Metroid sprites with the flashing animation and stuff, so. Alright, Zost also setting up for the stand-up glitch. And just while Zost is getting that set up and finished, I can also say that Ajder has finished in second place off stream with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 5 minutes, and 45 seconds. I don't know why I typed 66. So GG to Ajder. Very well done. Very quick time as well. All right, and Sinus with the big key in hand on his way up Ganon's Tower as Raikou has finished with Turtle Rock and is on his way. And Zo's just a couple shots short of finishing the game. Should be finished with only a couple hits after. Alright, and Mother Brain is dead. So just a short escape for Zost, and we'll see him finishing as well. Though we do have a third place winner placing third at 3:08:53, PP Chan off stream as well. And we do have somebody in chat who just said that they loaded up a Link to the Past randomizer sprite, and it is the same sprite as what's currently available, not counting the Zero Suit. So I do believe that it may just be not very many people use it, but I don't know. Conflicting stories all around, who can say. Also, did you kill Shaktul Hitaka?
No, I sure didn't. Why would I want to hurt him? All he wants to do is help out.
He just likes to dig holes.
Right.
Sinus killed him like 3 times, and so I was really sad.
Wow, that is rude.
I agree. Alright, and Zost finishes 4th place with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 9 minutes, and 48 seconds. We will see if he wants to come in to interview. Wow, really get that amazing suit of armor. Nice. All right, Zoe says no thank you on the interview. So he may just be popping into chat, and he might come in and say hi and chat with people, but no interview.
All right, I think I'm going to dip out of the call then. Cool. Thanks for commentating.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for racing, and good luck next time.
Thanks. Good night.
All right, so we just have Sinus finishing up almost to the final rooms here in Ganon's Tower. Just pretty much got Moldorm 2, and Raikou is actually starting his gauntlet sequence. So picking up the blue boomerang from the pre-mold arm chest. Sinus actually had Ice Rod Ice Rod Go mode, and then everybody else had Cane of Samaria. So ooh, a couple really nice hits on Aga too here from Sinus. Oh, one more, come on. Raikou with a really good single cycle there for Lanma too. All right, Sinus dropping down into the Ganon fight. Buttersword, the only one of our restream runners to have actually full cleared Swamp Palace all the way to Green Pendant and turned that in for the 4th sword. So I believe it's only 6 slashes per phase for Ganon with the gold sword. And ooh, got hit by a fire bat there. And so this should be pretty quick. I believe that Sinus should already be into the 3rd phase. Yeah, perfect. And Raikou just a couple rooms away from Moldorm 2. These guys will be finishing pretty close to each other. Yes, we did find the arrows in Swamp Palace, Ganon. Thanks. Ooh, just missing that double. Also missing the torch glitch, but it'll be alright. Buttersword, silvers. Ooh, go for a triple. Oh, Ganon blocked that one. What a meanie head. And Raikou finishes up with Moldorm 2, skips the chest, and heads on towards Aga. Nice. All right. 1G in chat for Sinus. Having finished up with Ganon. And we'll be getting a quick save and quit, and then on to Turian for Mother Brain. I always think it's interesting to see everybody in the combo randomizer continue to get all of the different randomized AGA 1 and AGA 2 fights, just with the set variables and everything in those fights are not the same for every runner. So that was a really good AGA 2 by Raikou, as he'll be heading over to Ganon as well. Though he does only have Tempered Sword, so even just making up the time in that AGA 2 fight will not make up quite enough time to pull it super close. It could end up coming down to something like a baby skip or a stand-up glitch between these two. We'll have to see how it finishes up. Oh, this is gonna give Raikou a little bit more time to catch up if Sinus is gonna have a little bit of trouble. There we go. Made it out. Ooh, he is a little low on supers, so alright, Raikou just a couple silver arrows away from finishing up with Ganon. One more. Nice. Two doubles again. So we'll get a G in chat for Raikou having finished up with Ganon. Ooh, nice freeze on those Metroids by Sinus. Alright, with Sinus turning off his suits, I think that we will see him not not go for the baby skip today. And Raikou's actually gonna do a recharge. Alright, and Sinus heading on to the final rooms here in Torian as Raikou hits the elevator. I would suggest that Sinus turns his suits back on probably soon. There we go. Yeah. Alright, Sinus with the Zeb skip. Gonna be pressing on through these little pillars without having to fight the organic material in the chambers. Raikou already through the Metroid 2 room. Alright, charge ice wave plasma on Mother Brain. And then we'll see if Sinus goes for the send-up glitch as well. And Raikou also going with a no baby skip. Ooh. I don't know if that's enough energy for send-up glitch now for Sinus. It might be. Yeah, no, he's not going for it. He could have used some of his reserve energy, but I'm not sure that he really wanted to go for it anyways. But that could be a little bit of time for Raikou to make up just a little bit on the Mother Brain fight. Oh, Raikou, come on. There you go. You can't go through the door till you kill the Ghidorah, okay? Alright, Raikou makes a Zeb skip as well, already making it through the glass enclosure around Mother Brain and into phase 2. Should be fairly quick phase 4 for Sinus with Hyper Beam, and then a quick escape. I am curious if Sinus will stop to save the animals. I'm not sure if Raikou would as well. Alright, and Raikou looks to be also skipping on the stand-up glitch, so... Alright, Sinus making quick work of the escape sequence here. Raikou just about done with the Mother Brain Drain. Sinus finishes in 5th place with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 30 seconds. Raikou Rider finishing up with the baby sequence in the Mother Brain fight, right into the Hyper Beam. I'm going to finish off Mother Brain quite quickly and into his escape sequence as well. Sinus is going to come in for a quick interview. Welcome, Sinus and GG.
Hey, thanks.
Very well done for the go mode of Mitts. You got to go mode quite a few dungeons there in Link to the Past, so that was probably a nice thing to have.
That was about the only nice thing, I think. I had lots of strategies go in that game, which was... The first one was predicated on the sentence, I hope I'm the only person who didn't have to do AGA 1, and then that didn't work. And then it was, I hope I'm the only person who doesn't have to full clear Meridia, and then that didn't work. And then I started playing around the strategy of what's the dumbest check that I can make right now, and that's when things started working for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, you were not the only person that was restreamed who did Aga, so at least you got that as well. There were a couple people who sequence broke and did some lava dives into Lord Warfare and got the both lifts and flute before um, getting very much else in anything done in Dark World. So
That's yeah, that's not surprising. But yeah, I don't think I could do lower Norfair lava dives, especially on that amount of energy. And I skipped a lot of power bomb tanks that would have probably given me a third crystal flash that I would have needed for that. So that was out the window for me. But certainly GG to Hitaka and Asder and Zoes2 probably are definite candidates that can do that.
yeah, and just to quickly state, Reku has finished in 6th place with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 26 minutes, and 58 seconds. So he'll probably come in and join us.
Yep. Yeah, I want to put a comment on SRL here that said something like Leno said this wasn't a Plando, but it could have been called Leno's Idiot Quest for Gloves or something like that.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't a Plando. But it was it seemed like it a little bit. Though welcome to Raikou and GG.
Thanks. So seeing those gloves back to back was really crazy. Unfortunately, I didn't dig Swamp earlier, so I was thinking, since I found both lift upgrades, that opens up a ton of stuff in Link to the Past. So I'm gonna focus on what's behind these lift upgrades, and of course, the Cane of Samaria that held me up was in Pendant Swamp Palace, which I normally love going into, but I decided to avoid it for way too long, and I wound up searching a bunch of really awkward locations. Then when I eventually found the Cane of Sumerian Swamp Palace, I was like, oh boy, that's been available for hours.
Yeah.
I remember peeking into Pod and being like, well, I can full clear this even if it's nothing, and picking up the flippers and being like, what the heck am I supposed to do with this? Only I didn't say heck, and controllers were almost broken. But
Oh.
I really wanted gloves to be there or in Hype Cave, and the seat would not give.
That was a routing mistake as well, because when the game gives you flippers in that kind of situation, that should give you a read that there's something important in either ice or swamp. And I went into ice, I think. I actually killed Botwoon, strangely enough. I went straight through Meridia, out the back door into the Dark World, and then did Ice Palace. And after Ice Palace, I think that's when I chased the Mitts and got in big trouble for it. Sinas, did you lava dive?
I did not. I had 5 tanks, and I did early hell runs before I even found Varia. But there's 2 quick things I want to get in. Well, 2 or 3. One was, what color was the blue mail? I skipped straight to red and didn't see it.
The blue mail is the gravity suit for
Okay,
the
cool.
Samus, right? If that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. I think that was pretty much it. I was really happy to do a seed with everybody. I generally can't do community seeds, but work schedules and stuff are going to be permitting for me to do a lot more of these, so I'm really excited going forward to get in. So I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you later.
All right, great. Thanks.
Yeah, I was pretty excited to be able to play tonight as well, especially considering that tonight's race is technically marathon practice for me.
For the randomizer accessible tournament.
No, there's actually a small event that I'm gonna be showcasing the combo at on Saturday.
Oh, nice. Do you want to shout that out or tell people? I'll
go ahead and at least give the channel it's on. It'll be at twitch.tv/NASA_marathon. The run is going to be at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern, and commentary, I believe, is being done by Algernon25, who did a lot of commentary for the tournament earlier, and Janice Zeal6, who's a very strong. He's a very strong Super Metroid player.
Yeah, and he was also in the 1v1 tournament. So yeah, we know Janice.
Yeah, so it should be both. It should be both of them, and I'm pretty excited. And I'm also just very happy that this came under estimate.
Good. Yes.
But as far as the seed itself, did anybody find Screw?
No, at least not on the restream. Perhaps.
I imagine it was probably
PP Chan or.
I imagine it was probably in GT somewhere. That's where I figured it was.
We saw everything in GT because Zost went full right and then everybody else went full left. So
interesting. Zost must have stolen a key and went right.
He actually ended up having to go back into Tile Room to get a key to go up because he forgot about the key in the pot on the left in the little bumper room that you have to hit the hammer.
Oh, that's really easy to forget. But yeah. I had a couple of routing errors. I got really excited when I found the mirror in Skullwoods.
Yeah, you were the first one to find that, and Sinus was the first one to find Kano Samaria. So you guys kind of like went back and forth with some of that lead. But yeah, everything else.
I was actually really worried about Kano Samaria being on Catfish because that was the one Mitz location I did not chase. You might have noticed after I found the mirror, I was thinking, go clear out all of North Dark World and then go to Catfish, Zora, and then do Catfish, do Zora, because I think I had Flipper. Yeah, I did Dark World as soon as I went into Dark World through Aga. That's another thing that was kind of funny about the start of the seed. When I saw a cape and a sword, I was already thinking, "Can you say Aga seed?" And then I found the lamp. And then I found the lamp at BT. I went up to Gauntlet, when I saw Wave Beam. I'm like, you know what? Getting this Wave Beam is worth it. Plus, it'll let me actually get the item. The Brinstar or Big Pink E-Tank is the item I was thinking of. I died a lot up there. Eventually I reset and I completely spaced that I reset my lamp away, so I had to go back and get it. That was the first big routing mistake I made. The second big routing mistake was after I got Mirror. I was thinking what I could do is I could go Bumper Cave, Bonk Rocks, Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb, Catfish, Zora, to Guy Under the Bridge to pick up the supers at Lake Hylia Island, and then go from there until I realized that I didn't have lift upgrade, so I couldn't get to Catfish. And he was really on my mind for most of that seed.
Yeah, there were a couple people who went to different places, Spike Cave without gloves, Zora and Catfish without gloves, that it seems so weird to go so long into a seed, and especially for somebody like Hitaka and Zost who sequence broke. And once they did get the gloves, then it was kind of like everything and the whole world was open. So then which routing do you do? I don't know.
Exactly. I sequence broke into Lower Norfair as well because it just made sense.
Yeah.
If I didn't find Mirror, I was ready to lava dive. And I also, in this process, I actually have a bug to report to poor Gilgatex with the latest version of his emo tracker application.
Uh-oh.
The tracker, at least on normal logic, does not properly account for out of logic access to desert. because there was this crazy situation came up where if Space Jump was out there, you could get access to Lower Norfair and by proxy Desert. So I was thinking this could be one of those legendary seeds where the Power Glove is on Landmos in Desert. It was entirely possible, but his tracker does not actually account for you doing that out of logic, so I've got to fill out a bug report.
Well, there you go.
But I like the seed. The seed was a lot of fun. It had very interesting routing, especially with both lift upgrades being so late. And it was one of those seeds where I could see a different item getting each person, because Cane of Samaria was not easy to find, the mirror was not easy to find, the ice rod, dear lord.
Yeah.
I about jumped out of my chair when I found ice rod at Shack Tool.
Yeah, I think Leno kind of let us in on that in chat, saying that, this is definitely going to be a seed that chat really likes. And also, just to mention, he actually did say that Screw Attack was a Pyramid Fairy, which nobody would have gone to, because by the time you got Cane or Ice Rod, you weren't going to go back to Pyramid
There's
Fairy.
no way. Yeah.
Right.
The only way... Because the only way that you could possibly get Pyramid Fairy is if you went into Pendant Swamp really early. I was considering it just because it was green pendant, so that's seven locations.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was a good idea at the time.
And that's actually what Sinus did, but he hadn't gotten a lift upgrade, so he had Cane of Samaria for a good while, but the gloves were actually his go mode. So if things had been a little bit different, or if somebody else had found Cane earlier, then I think that Pyramid Fairy probably could have been checked.
Oh, I absolutely would have checked it if I didn't have that. But at that point, I was thinking, I found these lift upgrades. And I would have routed that seed very differently if I didn't go down to Croc, because I would be like, all this stuff is out of logic. Where's the Space Jump? Also, another thing that really taunted me when I found Charge and Plasma really early was X-ray scope on X-ray scope at Lumberjack. I was trying to figure out when I was going to route that in, and I ended up passing by it a couple of times and just completely spaced, but it didn't matter that much because
Ice Wave Plasma.
Well, not just Charge Ice Wave Plasma, but Dre in general was being a jerk.
You had bad Dre. You got grapple right at the end, just like a little tiny bit, right?
Well, I was actually trying to fry the shrimp, but I think Dre swooped at me like 9 times before she actually grabbed me, and it turns out she was just one Charge Ice Wave Plasma shot from dying, which was annoying. But overall, I was actually pretty happy in a way to find Cane of Samaria last, because if I had found the items in a different order, like if I found Ice Rod last, or I didn't go into Skullwoods, then I would have been much more apt to dig Meyer and TR for the last item.
Yeah, a couple people said the same thing. Even Hitaka was pretty glad to have Samaria be the last item that they needed for the same reason.
But thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Come back.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me plug the event. There's a bunch of other really cool runs at this event as well. So if I'm able to, I would love to link the schedule.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
As a SG mod, so
okay. So here's the schedule for the event. There's a lot of really cool runs in it.
Nice.
So with that, that's all I really have to say about this seed. And I really should probably get to bed because I need to be clocked in 7.5 hours.
Oh dear, that sounds like me. So I'm in the same boat with you. So we can definitely say goodnight now.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks. Have a good night. All right, everybody. Thank you for sticking it out and hanging out for about 4 hours of time. Appreciate you all. I'm glad that you got to stick around. Make sure you guys pop over to our runners pages, give them a follow. Also, check out that event coming up this Saturday that Raikou had mentioned. Support our streamers and everything. Thank you to Mind Me for trekking, and hope you all have a great night. Come back on Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and we'll do this all over again. Have a good night, everybody.